Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got to look at the Kagero recently took a buff. Last update we got Fishman there, Sims Bay. Sims and Bay is kind of a combo I'm trying on a lot of destroyers right now. Seems to be quite effective. Of course, Sims boosts your health and his destroyers at a fixed rate, by the way. So your destroyers being the lowest health ships in the game. Kagero is certainly one of the lowest. That helps out quite a bit. Bay, of course, concealment. And previously I was using AL Otago on a lot of my builds. That reduced the torpedo reaction time by reducing the visibility of the torps. Always a good build there as well. But I've just been testing out Sims lately, seeing what adding the extra HP can do. Here we got a game. I don't know what's this map. Crash Zone maybe. We got A home cap for B, or blue. B is the home cap for red. Both teams generating income right off the bat with those 3 points every 5 seconds. You'll see that tick up on the board there. Or perhaps it's looks like 4 points every 5 seconds in this configuration. So we want to defend A, we want to pressure B, we want to capture B. That's what we're responsible for doing over here. We're in the Kagero, good detection or concealment that is. We got an Akatsuki on our wing. Dangerous Japanese gunboat. So ideally what I'm trying to do here is use the radio locator, maybe get a blind fire torp off to start the match, but we want to spot enemy destroyers by pushing into them using our advanced concealment build here, and then hopefully spotting the enemy destroyer, have our Akizuki rather, on our team go ahead and deploy smoke, shoot gun, shoot gun, shoot gun, kill the destroyer. All the while we keep them lit, keep them spotted. That's the game plan. Of course, we're in a high tier game. I think this is a tier 7/legendary tier game, so these should be experienced players that would recognize the ability to make that play, of course, but unfortunately our Akizuki is not going to do anything. He's going to try and spot for us. We're going to try and spot for him. So unfortunately this play isn't going to work out, but we're going to try and keep any destroyers spotted as well as we can. And we want to kind of push into B over here as well. One of the main strategies that, when you get these domination games where you have a home cap, if you can halt that progress or even capture that one, that's a huge swing. Because right now you can see both teams, in the little while the game's gone on, we've generated 44 points so far, 48 points. So these caps do generate quite a lot of income for your team. But if you can kind of shut off the hose or the spigot for the enemy right off the bat, that's hard to overcome. So that's the idea over here. You can see we're spotting this guy, hoping, come on, let's get some shots on him. Nothing, fortunately. Just not on the same page here. That's all right. We'll continue to push in. But the danger to us is that they're going to send a ZF6 over here from kind of the middle. So he's going to come up from the southwest, and that's going to kind of put us in a little bit of a bind. Okay, destroyers, if you get close to one ship and you can kind of disengage from the opposite direction, it's usually not that big of a deal. And that's why we keep the smoke. I'll probably talk about the smoke build at the end if I can remember. But, being able to deploy that smoke, disengage, get out of there, that's a profitable play. But when you got multiple ships coming from different angles getting really close to you, then when you try and get out of that smoke, well, one of them might spot you from an angle that's not blocked by the smoke. So that gets dangerous. If you just say to yourself, well, then I'm just going to sit in the smoke cloud, that'll work until they send torps into you or they push into you and spot you and kill you. So dangerous. As soon as this guy shows up, I'm like, oh god, this game's probably not going to last too long. I'm going to need some help from that guy. But look at the damage that we're going to be pumping out with these Japanese destroyer guns. Now, we got a long reload on these, yes, but we're going to see values 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 damage. And this is the damage that we're missing out on when a lot of our teammates are playing these Japanese destroyers. They don't ever use the guns. Spend a lot of time aiming torpedoes, trying to zap other destroyers, which are designed to dodge the torps. They can turn very easily. They can speed up, stop very quickly. So trying to torp destroyers as the primary way of dealing with them, we talk about this all the time, not the best idea. So he goes down good. Once the team chimed in with the guns in unison, he went down very quickly. A little bit of bonus damage on the battleship back there, no big deal. Don't really care about that at this point in the game. But we did get one of the destroyers down. Now we got the other one. Oh gosh, he's pushing into us here. We can assume his torps are reloaded. He's probably going to try and torp us. But look at the damage coming in. We just went from, 6-9, I think, to 3-9. And he's going to shoot his guns once more. I'm like, wow, Japanese destroyer player shooting our guns. There's no way we can beat this. But now he stopped shooting, and he launches triple widespreads, which thank the heavens, whatever you want to thank, not one, not two, but three sets of widespreads, and look how it looks impressive in terms of how well they spread out, but it's impressive from my perspective as well how easy those are to dodge. Take the widespread torps out of the playbook. Just don't use them ever. The last time I used a widespread that wasn't from, the British quote-unquote widespread, which is just basically a normal spread torp, either accidentally at some point in time, or it's probably been over 2 years for me. There's no reason to ever use that spread. If that's narrow spread, I'm dead. Or if he shoots his guns, I'm dead. If he shoots triple widespread, I just dodge the torps. Okay, you're gonna hit a widespread torp once in a while, but the percentage is way lower. It's so much easier to dodge widespread. So just take it out. And but either way, kill. If you're in a destroyer, you're gonna go down, and you have an opportunity to kill the other destroyer that you're fighting. You have to kill them. Because if he lives to fight another day, and especially if you don't have other ships around that can spot him easily, well, then the wheels are going to fall off that bus. And that's exactly what's going to happen over here. They got C under their control, but we're contesting it. So right now, both teams relying on the home cap income to stay afloat in this game. Even though we got a significant advantage in terms of ship count right now, and especially destroyer count, if they kill a few ships on our team, the score would be roughly equal again. Okay, because in the background, the points are generating at the same rate throughout this match. But now, once, nobody's getting points from C, we're getting points from A. They're not currently getting points from B, and even worse for them, since we're actually focusing on capturing the base instead of just sailing through it and trying to nuke a battleship, we're actually going to take over their home cap and take over that reliable source of income. And that makes it so even if they begin to kill these ships in retaliation, begin to even the score in terms of ship count, they're still not going to be able to catch us. Because as long as that's going to take, and that's going to take a while, assuming they can even pull it off, which is of course unlikely, but it's possible. But in the time it takes to do that in the background, the points are still going to be accumulating for blue, and all that work is going to be for nothing. Okay, so we go ahead and launch our torps here. We go ahead and disengage. We don't want to get spotted by this plane by accident. And we also want to get in the middle of the map, okay, because we got this side wrapped up. If that battleship way in the east wants to turn around and challenge B, then I can just turn around and go back and nuke him. But I want to, play this game more or less by the textbook, so we're going to just try and go towards the middle. Of course, we're just going to shoot him a couple times here since he can't really do anything about it. But once those torps hit, then we'll go ahead and disengage, get back in the middle. Okay, but for all intents and purposes, the game at this point in time is pretty much over. I think that flood sticks on the Grover, so that's going to lead to big-time damage, which, of course, you can get in the Kagero, you can get in these Japanese destroyers while doing your jobs. Countering the enemy destroyers. You saw we countered 2 enemy destroyers, capturing bases. We captured their home base, defended our own base from their push, and we did some spotting while we're at it, for good measure. And then threw in a couple torps here and there. Good. Bonus. That's all bonus. We don't care about the damage so much as controlling the caps and controlling the gameplay from a strategy standpoint. So that's what you can do with the Japanese destroyers. Why I wouldn't ever use the reload booster, which you have the option to do on this Kagero, you have to give up the smoke. Now, that's fine if all you're going to do is be Mr. Torpedo, okay? And I understand a lot of people, hopefully not too many of them watching, but a lot of people playing the game, they're Mr. Torpedo when they get in these destroyers. They don't care about the game. They don't care about winning. They don't care about the score. They don't care about their team. All they do, torp, 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 battleships. Get behind them. Take the first 10 minutes to go around the edge of the map. Hopefully you'll find the carrier. Get killed by the carrier secondary as well, trying to dev strike him. Or the battleships. Get killed by the battleships while trying to dev strike them. That's the usual flow of the game for the Japanese destroyer players. But you, as someone who's trying to be better at the game, hopefully you're not going to be doing that. You're going to be in relevant positions around the caps, playing against the enemy destroyers, in the middle of the map, not the edge of the map. And that's when you need that smoke, because you're going to get spotted from time to time, maybe the plane, maybe a ship you didn't know was coming, or you're just kind of busy and you get rust by a couple ships. Whatever the situation, having that smoke there means you can pop it down, turn away immediately, pop the engine boost if you got it, get out of there, live to fight another day, and keep the game going. If you don't have that, well, you don't have the speed maneuver build or anything to do this. But of course, if all you're going to be doing is sailing around the edge of the map, launching the torps, then go ahead and put the torpedo reload boost. You'll miss one more torpedo salvo in the game as opposed to one less without it. So that would be my advice. You know, I think it's a much better build with the smoke. Maybe you guys will disagree with me. Let me know in the comments if that's the case. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one, though. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships. It's coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. I do love to hear from you, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.